Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Monique here for anybody who is new, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back. In this week's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the steps that I take to diffuse my hair to get these results here. If you are also curious how I got these exact results, because this has a little bit more volume than what you're going to see at the end of this video, then just wait to the end of this video to see what steps you need to take to get to where I am now and see how I got here. So with that being said, let's get right on into my diffusing routine. Okay, so we're starting with my hair in kind of a funny state. If you're wondering how I got here, what products I use, and what steps I took to get these, pre-diffusing results, head over to my TikTok. I did film a curly hair routine over there. So yeah, follow me on TikTok and you guys will see that in the next day or two. It might already be up. So as I mentioned earlier, I am going to shout somebody out. So I'm just looking at my comments here, and then I am going to answer one question. Somebody said, your curls look gorgeous. Did you dye them a bit darker, or is it darker because you cut it? And it is darker because I cut it. I cut out a lot of the blonde. My plan is to continue cutting out a lot of the blonde and to hopefully get my curls back, because this blonde is just not cutting it anymore, but that's for another video. So let's just jump right into this routine. This is the same diffuser that I've used in every single video. I'm on the market for a new diffuser, so if you guys have any good recommendations, or if you really think the Dyson is worth splurging on, let me know down below. I would consider it, but if you guys have any other cheaper options, please let me know in the comments down below, because this just is not cutting it anymore. It gets the job done, but I'm just curious how another diffuser works on my hair. On the hunt for a new diffuser slash blow dryer combo. So before we get started on the actual technique, let's just talk a little bit about diffusing. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about what a diffuser is, and just giving you guys a little bit of knowledge that I have, and the reason why I use a diffuser. So I use a diffuser because I think it helps with the frizz. It cuts down on frizz because it redistributes the air, and that's exactly what I'm reading here. A diffuser is an attachment for your blow dryer. Usually it can be removable, that disperses the air to reduce frizz, exactly, and keep from disrupting the natural wave pattern. Great for any texture from wavy to corkscrew curls. Exactly. So that's exactly what I was saying. It just helps redisperse the air, because let's say you were going to go in with something just like this without a diffuser, you're literally just blowing your hair around. You're not really going in with any sort of purpose, and you're just disrupting the natural curl pattern altogether. With something like a diffuser, the air is going in multiple different directions. These prongs kind of help keep your curls in place, and it's just much more targeted. There are different types of diffusers. I'll insert a few photos of diffusers here. I haven't used any other diffusers. This is the only diffuser I've ever used. So this is, this is all I know, but it works well. I don't think there's a huge difference from diffuser to diffuser. But again, I would love to test some more for you guys. So that's kind of just like a little background on diffusing. So let's just get started into my technique. So before I start diffusing, and this is something that I don't always show on my channel, I like to air dry for about 10, 15, 30 minutes, just depending on how wet my hair is. Today I've been already air drying for maybe like 15 minutes now, so that's why my bangs are starting to shrink a little bit, and you are seeing, there are a few dry pieces in here, and my hair is starting to curl. So you just want to let it dry and start to form a little bit of a cast. This will just help you from disturbing the curl pattern even more. It'll cut down on frizz, and it will cut down your drying time. So if you have the time to spare before diffusing, I would recommend just to let your hair air dry just a little bit. My next step, and this is something that I just recently started doing, and I have been seeing a big difference in drying time and frizz, is to start drying the roots first. And by doing this, you're helping a few things. If you are focusing on your ends first, these are the driest parts of your hair, and these are the parts that are going to dry the quickest. Usually, everybody's different. You're kind of just putting more heat on areas that are already the most damaged, and usually the ends of your hair are the oldest, and you just want to let those air dry on their own as much as possible before getting to that part. And to do that, just focus on your roots first. This takes the most amount of time to dry, so the longer you take to dry your roots, the longer your ends have to dry on their own, just cutting back a little bit on that heat damage there. And also from drying your roots first, it just helps to add a little bit more volume and it just helps to get the roots off of your head. So the longer it sits on your scalp, the flatter your hair is going to be. And this is all my opinion. I'm not a specialist, so just these are my own opinions and thoughts and things I've learned along the way. So take this all with a grain of salt, and everybody's hair is different. But I have found that the longer your hair sits on your scalp, just the flatter it's going to be. So if you can start drying those roots first, you're going to help puff those up a little bit and just help volume overall. My next tip is just keep your hands off of your hair. Keep your hands away from your hair as much as possible, and I know this can be hard. I know you're going to want to play with your curls. I know you might want to scrunch your curls, but do not touch your hair until it is, I want to say, like 80 to 90% dry, if not 100% dry. By touching your curls, you just are disrupting the curl pattern again. You're going to hear me repeat this a million times. You're going to be disrupting the curl pattern again and creating frizz, because the more you touch your hair, the more you're kind of like separating your hair apart. And depending on if you're using a sticky gel, you might just be pulling the hair apart. Everything just gets stuck to your fingers. Just let it go. Let the curls form on their own, and do not disrupt that curl pattern. My next tip is to just switch your hair pattern around, and you'll see as I'm like overlaying some video, I'm just flipping my head side to side, flipping it over. These are all ways that you can help create volume without touching your curls. You do not have to touch your curls to create volume and to create definition. All you want to do is tilt your head side to side, up and down, and just creating natural movement to help separate those curls naturally and to create airflow in between each curl. Once you can tell that your hair has a nice cast, then you want to take the diffuser and start touching your hair. The whole time before this, you're kind of just hovering the diffuser over your hair, might be touching it a little bit, but once your hair has a nice cast and a nice hold, then you can take your diffuser, start scrunching your hair from the bottom, start scrunching your bangs. This will help just with definition. If you want a little bit of shrinkage, this will help in that area too, and it'll also help kind of start to separate those curls as those prongs touch your hair. It'll just help to separate, create more airflow, and to create more volume in turn. And my last and biggest tip is to make sure your hair is dry before touching it, like I mentioned before. And then try to target only the pieces that are wet. You don't want to focus on the dry pieces too much. The more you keep your diffuser on dry parts of your hair, the more frizz you're going to cause, and in turn, the more heat damage. So those are kind of the steps that I take, and then a few other random tips that I'm just going to throw in are don't use too high of a speed. The higher the speed, the more disruption and the more frizz. You want to use one of the lower speed settings and the lower heat setting. So my rule of thumb is always to use low heat and low speed. Another way that you can help create even less frizz is maybe you don't dry your hair 100%. It kind of just depends how big of a hurry I'm in, but if I do have time to waste, I will stop blow drying my hair at about 80% dry. So once you have that cast, once you're getting a little bit of like fluffiness, volume to your hair, just stop and let your hair air dry the rest of the way. But if you're somebody who likes a lot of volume and you don't mind a little bit of frizz, then I would say it's probably fine that you go in with the blow dryer until maybe like 95% dry. Okay, I'm finished diffusing. These are my final results before going through like shaking out, picking, and volumizing my hair. So you can tell there's literally no frizz, and that was the whole point of following these steps. I don't have a lot of volume yet, but we will get there. So my curls are very defined. I mean, like as defined as they're going to get right now. They are clumped together, which is good. A lot of definition. Yeah. These are my results, and I'm very happy with them. I'm not saying that if you follow these steps 100% you're going to get the same results, but I am saying that these can help improve your diffusing, results, time, and technique. I hope these work for you, but again, I'm not an expert, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am going to go ahead and film another quick video on how I get volume in my hair like after this step. So if you guys are curious on how to do that, then just keep a lookout for my next video. Don't forget to turn my post notifications on and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like I said in my last video, a lot of you guys who watch my videos unfortunately aren't subscribed. So if you do want to keep up with my content, if you like the videos I'm creating, please subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. It keeps me motivated and wanting to create for you guys. And yeah, just please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. So if you want to see my volume routine next, then give this video a thumbs up. I really like that, you know, way of responsiveness. Okay, with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that you would add to this, take away, or things that you do. I would love to hear it. With that being said, I'll see you guys all next week. Bye.